Elon Musk doesn't want you to see this video, and honestly, I don't blame him. Because what I'm about to show you is the most expensive midlife crisis in human history, wrapped up in a bromance that makes every reality TV show look like a documentary about tax policy. We're talking about two billionaire narcissists who thought they could use each other, got drunk on their own power, and then watched it all explode when their bank accounts started having different opinions. And before you say, oh great, another video about rich guy drama. Bro, this isn't just drama. This is about how $300 million can buy you a president, how that same president can tell you to go fuck yourself, and why the richest man in the world is now threatening to start his own political party because his feelings got hurt. This is the story of Elon Musk and Donald Trump, and it's absolutely fucking insane. So let's start at the beginning. Back when these two thought they were playing 4D chess, but were actually just playing checkers with monopoly money. Elon Musk spent between $277 million and $300 million making Trump president. Not supporting him, making him president. That's more money than some countries have in their entire budget. And Musk just threw it at Trump like he was tipping a really good waiter. And why? Because apparently the richest man in the world thought he could buy himself a co-presidency. And you know what? For a hot minute, it actually worked. Musk was basically acting like Trump's shadow president, telling cabinet secretaries what to do, pushing his NASA nominees, setting up this whole Department of Government Efficiency thing called Doge, which, by the way, is named after a meme coin. These guys were running the country based on internet jokes, and somehow we all just went along with it. Trump loved it at first because Musk was useful. Here's this guy with infinite money, a massive social media platform, and a weird cult following who was willing to be his hype man. Meanwhile, Musk thought he was getting the deal of the century, spend a few $100 million, get to reshape the entire government according to his libertarian tech bro fantasies. Both of them thought they were using the other one, which should have been the first red flag that this was going to end badly. But here's where it gets really good. Musk made $200 billion richer this year after Trump won. $200 billion. $170 billion of that came just since election day. So this wasn't some charitable donation to democracy. This was literally the most expensive business investment in human history. And it paid off better than Bitcoin in 2017. Musk essentially bought the presidency and then cashed out immediately. That's some Wolf of Wall Street level shit right there. For a while, they were inseparable. Trump would post about his great friend Elon, Musk would retweet everything Trump said, and they'd hang out at Mar-a-Lago planning how to slash $2 trillion from government spending while eating gold-plated steaks or whatever rich people eat. It was like watching two supervillains plan to take over the world, except they were actually succeeding. And here's the beautiful irony. While Musk was running around talking about government efficiency and cutting waste, his entire business empire was built on government handouts. We're talking $38 billion in government contracts, loans, subsidies, and tax credits over the past 2 decades. SpaceX alone has gotten $17 billion in federal contracts since 2015. Tesla got billions more in EV subsidies and tax credits. The guy preaching about fiscal responsibility was literally the biggest welfare queen in American history. But it gets better. While Musk was getting rich off taxpayer money, the government was basically making sure nobody could compete with him. The Biden administration, continuing Trump's policies, basically banned Chinese EVs from competing in America. So Tesla got billions in subsidies while their main competitors got locked out of the market entirely. It's like rigging a boxing match and then also giving one fighter brass knuckles. But then, Trump did what Trump always does. He got bored of sharing the spotlight. Sources say Trump started telling his cabinet secretaries in March that they answer to him, not Musk. Which, fair enough, Trump is technically the president. But Musk had gotten used to being treated like royalty, and suddenly being demoted back to rich guy with opinions didn't sit well with his massive ego. The real breaking point came with Trump's big, beautiful bill. And yes, that's what they actually called it, because apparently we're living in a children's book written by someone having a mental breakdown. This thing was a massive tax cut and spending package that added $270 billion to next year's deficit and hiked the debt ceiling by a record $5 trillion. Musk lost his absolute mind. He called it a disgusting abomination and said it would turn America into debt slaves. And you know why he was really mad? Because the bill cut EV tax credits and mandates that directly benefited Tesla. All that talk about fiscal responsibility went out the window the second it touched his profit margins. This is where it gets beautifully petty. Musk had been running around talking about government efficiency and cutting waste. But the moment Trump's bill threatened his business empire, suddenly he discovered principles. It's like watching someone preach about healthy eating while they're shoving Big Macs in their face. and then getting upset when McDonald's changes their sauce. Trump, being Trump, basically told Musk to shut up and get in line. He posted on Truth Social that Musk was upset about losing the EV mandates and went crazy over it, which, to be fair, is exactly what happened. But Musk wasn't about to take that lying down. This is a guy who bought Twitter for $44 billion just because people were mean to him on it. You think he's going to let Trump disrespect him publicly? So Musk declared war. He threatened to primary every single Congress member who voted for the bill, saying they will lose their primary next year if it is the last thing I do on this earth. Bro went full supervillain monologue over a spending bill. He started polling his Twitter followers about forming a new political party called the America Party to fight the uni-party system. But then Musk dropped the nuclear bomb. In what can only be described as the most unhinged billionaire tantrum in history, he posted on X. Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. He accused Trump of being mentioned in files related to Epstein, claiming that is the real reason they have not been made public. This is insane. We went from great friend Elon to Epstein accusations in like 3 weeks. Musk later regretted and deleted those posts by mid-June, but the damage was done. And Trump went nuclear. He posted on Truth Social, the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts, which was basically a death threat to Musk's entire business empire. Tesla's stock immediately tanked because investors realized what we all should have known from the beginning. Then Trump really twisted the knife. Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave. I took away his EV mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, and he just went crazy. And later, I am saddened to watch Elon Musk go completely off the rails, essentially becoming a train wreck over the past 5 weeks. The man went from calling Musk his great friend to calling him a literal train wreck in public. At a Michigan rally, Trump even said maybe it's time he went back to where he came from, which is South Africa, by the way. Absolutely brutal. The psychological breakdown here is incredible. You've got two massive narcissists who literally cannot handle not being the center of attention. Musk thought he bought a co-presidency. Trump thought he bought a useful idiot with deep pockets. When reality hit and they realized neither was getting what they wanted, it turned into the most expensive temper tantrum in history. Musk started making these delusional claims about being Trump's electoral savior, saying, without me, Trump would have lost. Trump fired back that he won by the biggest margins in history and didn't need anyone's help. It's like watching two kids fight over who gets to be the superhero while the playground burns down around them. The best part? Musk actually launched his America Party in July 2025 and started funding challengers to Trump-backed candidates. The richest man in the world threw a political tantrum so hard that he tried to split the Republican Party in half. And Trump responded by threatening to strip billions and billions in subsidies from Musk's companies. They went from love letters to mutually assured economic destruction in about 3 months. But here's what makes this whole thing even more insane. By August 2025, Musk started backing down and eyeing J.D. Vance for 2028, which suggests he might try to crawl back into Trump's good graces. So we might get to watch this entire circus again in 4 years, assuming they don't kill each other first. The markets dipped when their feud went public, because apparently the entire economy was depending on these two maniacs getting along. But some analysts think it might actually be good for fiscal discipline, which is the most accidentally wholesome outcome of the most toxic relationship in modern politics. Look, this whole saga tells you everything you need to know about how our system actually works. Democracy isn't some noble institution. It's just a really expensive auction where billionaires bid on politicians like they're buying yachts. Musk spent $300 million and thought he bought himself a government. Trump took the money and then told him to pound sand. And now, we all get to watch them have the world's most expensive breakup while they control our actual lives. The scariest part isn't that this happened, it's that it almost worked. For a few months there, the richest man in the world was basically co-running America based on his Twitter polls and libertarian fever dreams. And the only thing that stopped him was another billionaire's ego getting in the way. So yeah, Elon Musk probably doesn't want you to see this video because it shows that behind all the Mars missions and efficiency rhetoric, he's just another rich guy who thought he could buy his way into power, got played by a better con man, and then threw the world's most expensive tantrum when reality hit. And honestly, that's probably the most human thing he's ever done.